Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today I wanted to talk about an interesting setup that I was working on with Dragunov, and it involves his unblockable attack that it's performed by pressing up back 1+2. Now, as you probably already know, unblockables, they are a staple in the game. Every character has one. They are very gimmicky, like it's not usually something that you want to use in a real match. They are very slow, they are usually around 60 frames, so an entire second. It takes an entire second for this to come out. They are easy to identify because they also have these key sparks around. You have all these key sparks around the character, so they are easy to identify. You can interrupt, you can sidestep them. Most unblockables, if not all of them, they have no tracking whatsoever. So you can either sidestep or interrupt. Every once in a while they work, yeah, sometimes it happens, maybe a Horang is gonna do his unblockable axe kick, and sometimes it will connect, but for the most part it's not something that you wanna use a lot. But Dragunov's unblockable is actually interesting because it has actually very good reach, as you can see. I'm at 2.9. Okay, no, 2.9 doesn't connect, but 2.7 it still connects. It has really good reach for being an unblockable. And it also has this evasive property where Dragunov kind of ducks down and takes a step backwards. And he gets away from the opponent and then he attacks. So it has evasive properties. And this can be used in certain situations. And for example, a way you can try to apply this move is, for example, at the wall. You can try to do something like this, far away from the opponent. You do this, you duck down. There is not really much the opponent can do at that range. It can't really interrupt you from this range, so you're safe from your opponent's attacks. But in the meantime, you're charging an unblockable that when it connects, you get a combo at the wall, right? Now, of course, this is easy to counter if you're a good player, because in this situation, if you're a Kazuya, let's see if I can replicate this. I should be able to replicate this. There is no... Oh, wait, let me do this. Just gonna do this. I don't know, something like this. You should be able to sidestep if you're a good player. You should know that this is an option. Yeah, sometimes someone might forget about this. You know, if you get caught in the heat of the moment and you forget about sidestepping. It happens to me sometimes, but for the most part, if you're playing against a solid player, you will be able to counter something like this. CD4 is also a good option to set up this this unblockable at the wall, because it has natural pushback. It is actually a key move to try and set up this move. But of course, at the wall, it's something like in this situation, in a situation like this, I would say you can try to apply this, but make sure that you're playing against someone that doesn't know how to sidestep at all. So once you reach a certain level, you want to avoid to use this. But I was recently working on another setup that still involves the wall, but more than the wall, it involves the corner. I have this recorded in the record function. And as you can see, in a situation like this, let's say I do CD4, do you see the sidestep is much weaker because he's in the corner. So he will still be able to sidestep the unblockable, of course, because the unblockable has no tracking, but players will be much less incentivized to try and sidestep here, because if they try to do that and you use another attack, they will get clipped. When you are in the corner like this, rule of thumb is don't try, you can't sidestep, basically. Just sidestep doesn't exist when you are in the corner like this. So you can try to use that, and but you can use that against them, because you know, oh, if he's in the corner, he's not gonna try to sidestep, right? You know this is in his mind. Don't sidestep, because sidestep is weaker. You see, if he tries to sidestep here, he's gonna get clipped left and right. So as you can see, he's gonna get clipped left and right. So in this case, this could actually be a good option. Of course, if he stops sidestepping, In this case, it could be a good option. He will not expect you to go with the unblockable. He will not try to sidestep because he thinks that you will not be able to get away in time because there is the wall that is going to screw up with the evasiveness of his sidestep, and you will be able to score a wall splat. It is actually very interesting. I did this in a ranked session recently. I screwed up the wall combo, unfortunately, but it was actually very cool. I landed this in a ranked session. And the thing is, you want to make sure that you use the right conversion of the wall, and that is because when you do the unblockable. Wait, when you do the unblockable here, for example, you can do something like a wall throw here. The wall throw will not connect. So in this case, when you go with the unblockable, basically your best option, if you want to bound, of course, is to do back 1-2. That's your only option at the wall, because the move recovers so slowly, you don't have another option. Even something like up forward 1, which is also a bound, it will not connect. You basically have no other option than using back 1-2, and then after that you can only do a 2-hit combo. So you either do back 2 while standing 1+2, or you can do you can go with the pigeon roll Oki. So you do this into this, and then you start to pigeon roll Oki. Of course, if you want to, you can heat burst, and then you go with the pigeon roll Oki. So now you have unbreakable ultimate tackle. But it is actually very interesting. Of course, you need to be careful because this is still steppable. But it might work even against players that are actually good and they know how to sidestep because they are in that specific spot. They are in the corner, and they will not attempt to sidestep and avoid stuff in this position. You can try to use that against them and set up to set up an unblockable. And the interesting thing is that CD4 is also a good way to set up this unblockable here, because of the natural pushback that you get when this gets blocked. You have that natural pushback, so you can do up back 1+2, and you can get away from him, but at the same time you're close enough so that the punch will connect and you will get the wall splat. And I think this is actually very interesting. It's always fun to try and find utility for certain moves that are just gimmicks. It's interesting. I like to do that, but at the end of the day, it's still a gimmick. So you shouldn't rely on this against someone that is really, really good. But you can catch someone off guard with this. It could be interesting. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. So thank you so much for watching, and take care.